Akame got killed, episode 15, Kill the Religious Organization. Now, first off, I do have to apologize for this being over a week late, but for whatever reason, I have the worst issues with this show recording. It never records, and then for some reason, Adult Swim On Demand never seems to have the show like they're supposed to. It's supposed to be the very next day, and it was like the entire week. I actually checked it because I was eventually just going to watch it on Crunchyroll in Japanese. But it was actually on there, so I did get to see it in English because that always messes me up when I switch in the middle of stuff. But I was finally able to watch it, so that's why it's over a week late, and I didn't get to watch it during my normal time, which is kind of on Monday. So I'm going to be watching this episode and the next episode, which I'm really looking forward to because this was a really cool ending to the episode. I think overall it was a fairly normal episode. Like really nothing happened in this episode, to be totally honest, outside of leading up to should be, I hope is going to be a pretty epic next episode, because all they really did was talk about plans. Like on both sides of the fence, it was like, all right, Night Raid has this plan, we're working with these people, and we're going to do this, and then get the Jaegers to go this way, and then we'll go this way, and then we'll attack them here, and this. And that was pretty much it. It was the talkie episode, and then we got a little bit of the Jaegers. Of course, some of the violence. Seiryu, I think, finally hit a point that allowed someone else to see kind of the weird things happening, because Wave realized when she killed those criminals, like, just because, we're the Jaegers, it doesn't mean that we should just wipe out everyone who's bad. And they totally could have done a trial, like the last woman mentioned. It was like, just give me a fair trial, like, please don't kill me. And it's like, nope, she just killed her anyway. It was like, a crime's a crime. And it's like, well, that's why you have trials for criminals and stuff like that. And she just decided to be, Judge Dredd style, and just like, nope, you're bad, and I'm gonna, I'm gonna choose to kill you right now. So I thought that was pretty interesting, and Wave was kind of, he kind of got a little inkling of the darker side of what they're doing. He still believes that he's on the right side, but it was kind of interesting. And then he gets sent away, which is the funniest thing. But he just gets sent away at the end of this episode, and it's just like, and he just flies into the sky and disappears. So he'll probably show up again, I would assume, because he can actually fly. So I'm sure he'll just use his Imperial arms, in midair, and then he'll kind of fly back in during the next episode. But I'm looking forward to what they do. We get to see Akame go up against her sister. Like it's like, all right, they're finally about to go up against each other, and then it gets super freaking insane because they both have katanas, and it was like, oh, well, her sister's is basically like, oh, it's the sharpest thing. Like when they introduced her, that was kind of the thing. It was like, oh, it's super insanely sharp. I was like, that's not, like, that's cool. I would assume that means it can, like it could cut through a rock and all sorts of insanely tough materials. But I was like, that's not super special. That's not that big of a deal to me. And then she does like this crazy black hole lightning thing, and then she's like bringing corpses out of the ground. I was like, oh, that's really badass. And I wish I had that now instead of Akame's, which still wasn't my favorite Imperial arms, because it's honestly, as much as I love katanas, it's still just a katana that poisons people. It's like other stuff looks way cooler. But I was like, that's really sweet. And then she's, she kind of shows her true, power in this one, and she brings out an S-class skeleton, which of course was like just pristine and perfectly together with all parts. Like the entire thing, had been dead for, that would have had to have been like 100 years or something crazy like that, because it was so huge, but it was completely buried underground. So that was pretty awesome. I can't wait to see how in the world that's supposed to happen, excuse me, in the next episode. But it's either going to be 2 against basically the entire team, or it's going to be 3 if Wave does decide to come back, which I'm sure he will. I don't think he'd get sent away and then be like, oh man, I should go warn Esdeath. He'd probably go right back to try to help his friends out. So he'll probably rejoin the fight in the next episode. But I'm certainly looking forward to it. I didn't hate this episode or anything, just admittedly not much happened. We got to see I can't remember her name. It's been forever since I've actually seen the show, so I'm kind of forgetting a lot of characters' names right now. But we see the new girl. We see her use her power, where she actually turns into a cat, and she was also like a maid in this episode. She kills the guy in the beginning, who admittedly I thought was going to be like the big deal of the episode, and then it's like, nope, mission complete. She sticks him with something, and I guess he got poisoned, and then she turns into a cat, and she's totally fine. So that was kind of cool to actually see her use her power. And then they have, I thought this was going to be once they started their plan and they were like at the beach, I was like, oh, this is gonna be like, the beach episode, because every anime has one. So I think this was their beach episode, even though it was like that tiny little part of the episode. I think this counts as their beach episode because every anime has one, and I always find it so funny. It's like even the biggest action anime, it's like, oh, beach episode. There's always an episode. Even horror anime have beach episodes, which is just it just works. There's always a way to have a beach episode. It's always really funny to find one. Every time I see it, I'm like, when are they gonna do that, and how are they gonna do it for this type of show? But I guess for this, it was slightly different because it was just a section, but it was pretty funny. But I did like this episode. It was mostly comedy more than action, and then the little bit of stuff with Seiryu in the beginning, and of course the very end once the action really kicks up. But I'm looking forward to this next one. I did enjoy this one, but of course, want to know what you guys thought about it, so please comment below. Let me know your favorite parts, your least favorite parts, and even though odds are you guys have already seen the next episode, I do want to know what you guys thought about Akame's sister and how she, not only was she super fast, like she dodged mine's laser at the last second, and it wasn't even like it caught her hair or anything. It was like, nope, she dodged it and everything was fine. But then she also has like this crazy, Trump ability. I would assume that's her Trump card, or her, Trump ability. And the whole sharp thing is like just naturally, it's insanely sharp. That's not really the ability. It's just that sharp. Or I guess I guess that's how it is. That's just how sharp it is. And then necromancy, I guess, is her Trump, which is way cool. I think that's my favorite one so far, honestly, except for maybe Esdeath's, because hers is technically like a part of her body because she drank all the blood. So I think she has like my second favorite, maybe first favorite. I don't know. It depends on how things play out. If she ends up summoning more in the next episode, she might kind of jump straight to the top on that one. But want to know what you guys thought about it, whether you've seen the next episode or not. Definitely want to know. So please comment below, let me know. And thanks for watching.